Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, happy 2024. I actually tried to film this video yesterday, but I felt like I was putting so much pressure on myself to just have this stream of consciousness video be absolutely perfect that I kind of tired myself out and stressed myself out, and I ended up giving up, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this again New Year's Day. So that's what we're doing right now. And this is a video of my year in review of 2023, kind of the highs and lows of last year. So the first thing that I participated in last year was the Overlook Film Festival. I was a volunteer with them for the third time. The first 2 years that I volunteered with them, the festival took place around May and June, and I was there volunteering at least one shift a day, if not two. This past year, the festival was either in March and April or April and May, somewhere around there, somewhere in the springtime. And so I think part of the reason they had it that early is because it was a lot easier for them to get a lot more volunteers. I think they ended up pulling from some of the local college campuses, or at least one college campus. So they had a lot of 18 to 21-year-olds there who were volunteering to get college credit. So I didn't get to participate in as many volunteer shifts as I would have liked to. If you've watched my channel before, or you've watched other blind YouTubers, then you probably already know that as far as employment goes, and I'm also going to count volunteer work in here as well, 75 to 80% of blind people are unemployed. And yes, there is a segment of the population of blind people where they do have additional disabilities, whether it be hearing loss or cognitive impairment or what have you. But there are also a lot of fully capable, skilled blind people who just aren't given the opportunities that sighted people are given because, people just see you for your disability. They make assumptions about what you can and can't do. They don't ask you. They don't make offers. Sometimes they'll take a task away before they even give you an opportunity to try it. So I already know when I'm walking into these volunteer opportunities that it's not a level playing field. I already know that I'm the only blind person there, and the rest of the people are going to be sighted. That's why when I do get the same opportunities as sighted people, it's even more important for me to be there competing, because I want people to know that I'm just as capable and worthy and deserving of being there as they are. So there were definitely other festivals throughout the rest of 2023 where I felt like my presence was more valued. In addition to helping out at film festivals, in 2023, I also participated in my usual audition on camera classes, and I started taking improv classes online. So I took 2 classes with the Groundlings, and I like taking classes with them because they prioritize listening. They don't offer their entire course curriculum online though. So in the summer of 2023, I decided to switch to Second City, and I've currently taken 3 improv classes with them. I'm moving into Improv 4 as of this month. The second film festival that I helped out with in 2023 was Chattanooga Film Fest. I first attended the film festival in person in 2019, and during the pandemic they started having their festival online, like the virtual film festival, and since then they've been doing kind of the hybrid of like the in-person and the virtual, because thankfully they realized the importance of accessibility and bringing the festival to people out of state who are not able to attend in person. But as I said, I was able to go in 2023 to go help them out as a volunteer, and it was a lot of fun. And I was there pretty much most of the time, all 3 or 4 days of the festival. And they really seem like they have a really good chemistry and rapport with each other. I think they've been putting on this festival for at least 10 years now. So it was a very welcoming, friendly environment, and I'm looking forward to going to help them out again in the future. I also turned 40, in the summer of 2023, and it's not as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be. I'm actually kind of relieved, to be honest with you. I'm glad I'm not in my 20s anymore. You know, it's interesting, you know, you get to your 40s, or at least for me anyway, it's like I get to my 40s and it just kind of puts things into perspective, you know, like I remember being in my 20s, or, you know, being even younger than that as a teenager, and having people think of me as a kid. And back then, you know, I resented it because I thought, you know, what do these people know? Like, I'm just as mature and have just as much experience and worldliness as they do. But, you know, it's funny because now I'm 40 and I'm thinking back to myself at 25, and I'm thinking, you know, I was just a kid. I didn't really know myself or what I wanted from the world. I also got myself an air fryer, and I've been learning to cook with it. I think it didn't even come with a cookbook. I've just been looking on Google and Reddit and TikTok and YouTube, and I'm not cooking healthy items per se. As time goes on, I am going to incorporate air frying some vegetables and things like that. In the fall of 2023, I traveled to Las Vegas and also to Tampa, Florida. I went to Tampa for 90s Con for the very first time, which if you haven't seen that vlog, I'll go ahead and link it in the cards. It was a lot of fun. You know, the interesting thing that I learned from that experience, the unfortunate thing really, is that a lot of people just, you know, they'll do the bare minimum. They aren't even willing to help a blind person, even if you're just asking them, hey, can you stand outside the venue and wait with me for a few minutes till I get to my lift. So what I learned from that trip is what I would probably do in the future is book the closest possible hotel to where I can hopefully walk from the hotel to the venue. I also traveled to Vegas to help out with Joe Bob's Jamboree. As I was heading there, I was a bit uncertain as to whether I was actually going to be like a volunteer, or if I was going to be helping with the Patreon table, or if I was just going to be attending. And then after I landed, I found out that I was in fact going to be helping out with the Patreon table. So thank you to Darcy and Joe Bob and Maggie and Whitney and whoever else was involved with making that decision for inviting me to help out with that. So I got to help hand out missing merch to the patron saints that were there, and Maggie and I also helped to recruit some new Patreon members. So very cool. If you're not familiar with the Lost Drive-In Patreon, I'll go ahead and link that in the description. The coolest part about it is that at the $35 a month tier, we have monthly watch-alongs in the Discord server with Joe Bob and Darcy. And before I forget, I also wanted to mention that I'm now one of the moderators on the Lost Drive-In Discord server. So thank you to all of the Discord staff and moderators who were responsible for making that decision. Very considerate of y'all. In November, it was my second time attending the Theater for All program with Queen's Theater. It was a 2-week program for actors with disabilities, so we had a ton of different classes ranging from singing to voiceover to scene studies, script analysis. The most difficult one for me was, there was I think it was called Heightened Language, or it was called Shakespeare. It had something to do with Shakespeare, which, as you can imagine, it was my first time having to recite Shakespeare out loud, and it was a challenge, but I got through a paragraph of it. My favorite class was the voiceover class. It was a fun 2 weeks, and we're gonna have the opportunity to audition for possibly getting into the second part of the program, which is gonna be in person in New York. So I'm sure I'm not the only one who's eagerly anticipating getting that audition information. I also got to celebrate another year of my lymphoma being in remission. So I'm very grateful for that. And also I got a bit better at decluttering and kind of letting go of things. I even decluttered a bunch of my spooky purses, including 15 of my Love Paint and Stitches bags. I did get COVID for the first time this year. I managed to avoid it from 2020 all the way until this year. And you know, the one thing that I did differently this year that I kind of regret was I let my guard down and I hadn't been wearing my mask as much this year. So I think that's possibly part of the reason that I ended up developing it. Thankfully for me, it only felt like a sinus infection. And it lasted about a week and I didn't have any long-term lingering symptoms from it. So that's my year in review of 2023. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate, I can't believe I have over 400 subscribers now. Very cool. Thank you all for, for spending time with me on this channel. And I appreciate you. I hope you're having a lovely new year. Please give this video a thumbs up because it helps out the algorithm. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.